fans. Dan K, Lucas Jones, the Capitol Ale House presents a live pregame show, the Dan K Show, Richmond Takeover. We are here, Richmond Generals taking on the Carolina Junior Hurricanes. And we say that Junior Hurricanes logo, we see that branding, we see that logo, and I start here with Coach St. Jacques here. I want to talk to you kind of about that partnership that you guys have there. You got the blessing to use the logo. First of all, my favorite jerseys in the league, which I was talking about earlier today. Talk about kind of how that works and how it's worked in your guys' favor here.
I think obviously it started with last year's playoffs in the NHL. I thought they had a really good run, and so the momentum in the city and in the youth hockey program is unreal. And so for them to give us their blessing with logoing all over the rink, putting things up, obviously using their jerseys, we have to alter it with the Junior Hurricanes, but it's great, and they're fully on board with us.
Love it. Now, you got a big-time elite matchup today. You're taking on a tough Richmond Generals side. You guys are going to get out there here at 4:30 puck drop on Hockey TV. How do you, this Southeast Division, how do you get through it on a day-by-day basis? I mean, both of you, the elite premier levels, man, you guys got to be running through walls every single day.
Yeah, we play against these teams over and over and over again, and every single night it's a battle. And if you're not mentally prepared, if you're not ready to go, then you're going to get beat every single night. You cannot take a week off when you're preparing for a team like Richmond, Charlotte, Hampton, or even Potomac. Our division is very, very tough. Okay, if you take a day off in practice, you're not going to be ready. I mean, it's that strong, and our boys, I believe, had a fairly good practice. I'd like to be a little bit better. However, they better show up in the first period.
Now, we talk about a good showing, right? And we look at your side here, the Premier. We got a chance to do a game when we were out there in Marlboro at the New England Sports Center. You guys took on the Minnesota Moose. That's a tough team out in the Midwest West, and your boys showed up for you. What do you attribute kind of the depth in scoring that your team puts together and the ability to stop the puck in net no matter who's between the pipes?
Yeah, I think, first it starts with goaltending. I think any team, has to have good goaltending. I think our special teams have been really good lately. So when you have a good power play and a good penalty kill, that helps. I think, obviously we've been through the ringer with the injury bug this year. We got 6 guys out of the lineup, but we've filled some spots. We're not completely where we want to be, but there's no excuses. Every night is a battle, and you have to come out with points. The nights or the weekends that you get swept in our division, either you gain ground or you lose ground, and if you lose too much ground, you're going to be at the bottom.
Now, I looked to my left here, and I loved what you guys are doing with this organization. Talk to me. We got a lot of young guys who watch at home, a lot of guys looking for that next step in their hockey career. What do you say to a young skater? Why the Carolina Junior Hurricanes? Why the Junior Canes?
That's actually a great question. With our program, we promote school first, hockey second. And with this stepping stone from youth hockey and the branding, that's what was so important with the branding, is that we have them now with a youth program with the Canes there. They go from youth to junior, and from junior, then it's on their own there. We promote them to college, but they're even better. Then we'll get them tier 2 opportunities. But our program is elite premier school, or elite premier tier 2, however you want to look at it. But mainly the main thing is if there's a child that comes into our, a young player that comes into our office, if they don't believe in school first, then it's not really our program. It's not a really good fit for you.
Yeah.
But those kids that believe in that, they come in, they're on board, and we try to help them as best as possible to get a college education by using the game.
Got some history here in Richmond. You saw some of the folks, we saw some of the folks joking around with you on the way in. How does it feel to come back here and try to get a win in this barn? How's it feel each time you come back?
Obviously it's a lot to me. I got my parents, my dad works here, my brother-in-law runs the Skate Nation rink. So I worked here. I started the Generals youth program 7 years ago. So, obviously there's a lot of, rivalry, I guess you would say, or under the table rivalry. And it feels good to win. I mean, we've won games here and we lost here. So it's great for the game. It gets me going. I love coming back here and playing. Obviously, I think tonight's going to be an even bigger stage with you guys here. And this is what our league should have. We should have these rivalries broadcasted so that people see the quality of hockey in this division.
Love it, man. And you guys are doing such great work. the Carolina Junior Hurricanes. Coaches, we're going to let you go get ready for your games here. You guys got some big matchups. It's going to be a fun one, and I know we have some Richmond skaters hanging around here. We'll have to find Noah Farley when he comes bouncing around here. But we got – here he is. Noah, come on out. Noah, come on out here. We got Noah Farley jumping in here. El Capitan, I like to call him when we talk to Noah. Noah, we're going to give you this guy. We'll pop you on the mic. If I could get a Zoom shot. We got a Zoom shot for the folks on Instagram. You're wearing something there.
Yeah.
You're wearing something. Could you show that off the hardware to the folks at home? So for the folks on Instagram – that is what you're playing for here, and I saw a little mantra there on your guys' locker room, right? I saw the mantra laid out that winners win every day, right? It's that idea that you have to show up, you have to bring it every day. As a leader on this elite side, I mean, talk to me a little bit about what your role is on a day-in and day-in basis to make sure these guys bring that winning mentality.
Yep. You got to bring it every day, leave it at the door. Got to be accountable for every guy's, making sure they're doing what they need to make it to that next level, to establish what it is to win a championship.
Yeah.
And it's not only me, but all the other leaders on the team too, that bring the team together, build us up from the inside, and create that family that we have here that wins championships for the Generals.
Now, Lucas, we've seen this young man play a lot here. He's quick on the ice, quick to the puck, good without space, good with space. Well, you have any questions for Noah here, kind of about this matchup today with the Junior Canes?
Yeah, so I mean, this is a matchup that looks real good on paper, and from what we've seen this year, looks going to be real good in person too. Kind of break this down for us, right? Because you've obviously seen last year's Generals team into this year's Generals team, and this Junior Cane squad is taking this whole division by storm. What do you think is going to be the key for the team that gets the win, and what do you think might be an X factor, something that we may not know about this upcoming game?
Well, definitely the biggest key for probably both teams is going to be the goaltending, playing up to their level.
Yeah.
Jared Cable, coming from the team last year, is a great guy. He's an amazing goaltender. He's going to be really tough to score on, but now we have Nick Bernstein in net, who lights up the league night in and night out, and he's going to do a real good job.
I think Nick Bernstein has won every single Player of the Month and Player of the Week in the history of the USPHL. Is that unofficial or is that official?
Who knows? He's won a lot.
I mean, the guy stops everything, and I mean, you got to talk about that as a player, because I feel like you look at a netminder, right? You look at a netminder, and I always say it, a goaltender is the only position in the game of hockey that has a win or a loss hung next to his name on the stat sheet. It's the only position with a win or a loss in the stat sheet. And you see a guy like Nick Bernstein between the pipes. When you take the ice, you grip the stick, you're ready for the opening faceoff. How much more creative can you guys be offensively? How much more can you kind of flex who the Richmond Generals are when you have a guy like that between the pipes for you?
It definitely makes it a lot easier for you to go out and try and do your job when you have such a phenomenal player back there to help you. So when you have that, you can just go out there, do whatever you need to, and not have to work if you make one or two small mistakes that with any other goaltender in net would be very costly. You can build off of that or create something else because he's going to make the save.
I love it, man. I love it. Now let's go. Let's get Coach out here. Coach Light coming out. We see the shirts. This guy is beloved in this town. Let's put this headset on him. This guy is beloved in this building. And you see the shirts out there. Nobody likes us, and we don't care. And you know what? I spent a lot of my life saying that about myself. No one liked me, but I didn't care, and look where it's gotten me today. It's gotten me right here with you, Coach. And, Coach, first of all, thanks for joining us, and thanks for having us. Let's talk about the organization and the community around this team, first of all.
Okay.
To let you know, 2 years in a row, we've done this Holiday Follow Challenge for 2 years. And 2 years in a row, not only did your team win, but your team lapped the field in voting. Your fans, your fan base, it's amazing to see the outpouring of love and support. Where does that community come from for the Gens?
I think it's a great hockey town. Being able to play pro hockey here for 4 of my 8 years that I played pro, I was able to establish a lot of relationships with people who own businesses and hockey people in the area. And when I started up the junior program and the youth program, they were still very supportive because hockey had gone. Yeah. And we've been very fortunate to have those same people that I had relationships with jump on board and continue to be active in the hockey community. And obviously we've had a lot of success with our junior program, which has brought a lot of new people into the fold. And it's been great to see because, this area really wants a pro hockey team.
Yep.
Was one of the leaders in attendance for years, even when I played here. And you can see the following that we have. I know, we're playing junior hockey, and Saturday nights we're averaging anywhere from 700, 800, 900 people a game, with a direct following with booster clubs and people that want to help the team and want us to do things with the team. I think we're very active in the community. We're very active in the things that we do, and I think that helps.
And now we have, let me remind you right here that today's show, the pregame show, is presented by Capital Ale House, the official Richmond eatery of the Dan K Show. And I'll tell you what, I don't think there's much of a difference. I think the resemblance is uncanny between you and I. We have a very similar haircut, and you can see, do we know the name for the Capital Ale House mascot? Do we have it?
What happens when the Kool-Aid Man grows up?
This is the older Kool-Aid man. This is the adult Kool-Aid man. And I'll tell you what, I love the look. How you doing? You good? You enjoying the day? Enjoying the day.
You got to tell Dan that he's got to fix the lights. When you have a bald guy that comes on the set, you have to adjust so there's no gleam.
See, what you got to realize, Dan K doesn't do the lights. Oh, this is Gong Show City here, which I love about live TV. This is the best part about live TV. Now you see this Junior Canes team come in. We talked to Coach St. Jacques on the other side here, kind of about the Southeast region, the Southeast Division this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been tough in the past. It's been difficult in the past. This year is unheard of. I said it. I think this is the toughest division in junior hockey right now. When you talk about just a parity within it, every day everyone can beat everyone, man. How do you get through it behind the bench? How do you make it happen?
I think it's a double-edged sword, right? It's great because you always want to play great competition, and that's a testament to our owners in our league, our coaches in our league who make our division so strong. But at the same time, like earlier in the season, we went from first place to fourth place with our premier team in one weekend.
Yep.
The quality and the accountability of every single night having to win games is why this division is so good, and why you look at the champion at the premier level basically coming out of this division every year, and almost at the elite level the same thing, is because you're so prepared when you get to the finals. There's nothing that you're not going to face, and it battle tests every team that's in here. And realistically, being honest, we could send 3 or 4 teams out of this division that would have a chance to compete with the national championship every year, especially at the elite level or the premier level. And I think, again, that goes back to what we're doing down south, the attitude and the approach that we have with our programs. And then you look at, like you said, the best division in Tier 3 hockey. There's no question. If you talk to D3 schools, you talk to D3 scouts, you look at the amount of commitments that we have out of just our teams, our 5 teams. And then you look at the success that all our players who have moved to the college ranks are now having in school. We're not talking about guys that are making college hockey rosters. We're talking about guys that are impacting college hockey rosters every night.
Now, Coach, let's talk about this USPHL landscape right now, because you guys run through walls in the Southeast each and every week, but then you go to Tampa and you do it. And you go to the Northeast, and not only do you run through those Northeast teams, but then those Midwest teams come out. The Great Lakes teams come out. You guys have truly experienced everything USPHL Nation has to offer. How do you keep pace? How do you keep up with the changing nature of the game as you move from region to region, team to team?
I think the biggest thing is you just got to stick to your motto, and what I mean by that is we stick to what our culture is and how we're going to play. We're going to be a heavy team to play against. You're not going to want to play against us. We're going to be physical. We're going to use our speed. We're going to grind you down. We're going to wear you down, and we're going to use our skill and our speed to capitalize on those opportunities. And we're going to do it for 60 minutes. And that's something that we really have established, with this program since I started. This is our 9th year, and that's something that's been a big staple of Generals hockey: hard, heavy, fast, physical hockey. And it wears down on teams when they have to play back-to-back nights. And we try to stick to that. Consistency is a big thing. But that's the biggest thing I think at this level. What separates the guys that make it to the next level, whether that's college or juniors, is the consistency factor. Being able to do it night in and night out, and do your role and do your job and play the same way and be prepared to play every night. And that's a big part of the kids making the jump to the next level and understanding that.
Final question for you. I asked the same thing to the Junior Cane staff. I mean, obviously, you have a special place in our hearts here, because you guys, man, we've become part of Roll Gens Nation here. I don't know, for a good reason recently. Your boys on the premier level have been holding up the number 6 at me for the last 3 weeks. And I felt a little bit threatened when I was out there in Marlboro. I loved it, though. But I even said, they can pull it off today. They're more than welcome to dump water on my head, whatever they want to do at the end of that one to get back at me, because I'll tell you what, the Dan K Bump, these guys went 4-0 up in Marlboro. Now they got to roll it into this. But last question for you. Why the Generals? We have so many younger guys, right, who are looking for that next step in their career, their next step in the game of hockey. Where are they going to go next?
Right.
Why the Richmond Generals? Why should a player look at your organization? Why should they choose your squad?
I think for us, everybody's different. Everybody brings different things to the table. For us, we're a family-first program. We're all about developing our kids as young men so that they're going to be successful. And I know my purpose, and so do my coaches in my program, of what we're supposed to do. I'm supposed to coach young men and teach them hockey and give them an avenue to be successful. But more importantly, I'm supposed to teach them to be men that are going to be successful when they leave our program in life.
Yep.
And that's really our purpose here and our number one focus, and it always has been. And, the hockey always comes second to that. And I think when you approach it that way, I think some of the most important things when you're working with younger kids, especially this generation with the disconnects and everything else, is establishing trust. Yep. And if they trust you, you can lead them, meaning if they understand that you're here to help them, if you have their best interests in mind, and they trust that what you're telling them is going to get them an opportunity to become better, a better person or a better player, there's not anything that you can't do. And I think that's the model that we kind of live by here is we're very close with our players, we're very close as a family, and we really try to instill that in our kids. And I think it's more, not so much just even on the hockey side, but on life side, it's so much more important for kids being successful when they leave our program. And there's nothing greater than the guys here, seeing the guys that come back year after year.
Yep.
We have guys that are playing pro hockey. We have guys that are playing Division I college hockey, Division III college hockey, guys that have played and don't play anymore who just show up at the rink and want to hang out and ask if they can go practice. Like, these things happen quite a bit here in our program. The guys get used to it. But, this season, we had two guys that were pro players practicing with us. Zach Jones, who's on the U.S. national team, was one of our guys, practiced all preseason with our guys. Huge, lift. Kyle Rhodes, who's another player that plays in the American Hockey League, major junior captain, plays East Coast Hockey League. Another guy that was here and rehabbing till he gets healthy. So things like that are very common here. So it's a very good avenue for guys to learn, but also to get prior knowledge away from not only our coaching staff, but players that have played here and gone on to do the things that these kids are doing.